Welcome back, guys. So I'm going to use the IntelliRoll again. This is just such a special roller because as we dive into the SI or the sacroiliac joint, we can actually address some pain areas. Now, I usually like to say where the pain is isn't necessarily the problem, but it's still true that we get to address the symptoms. So this is a really great way to just start to relieve some of those symptoms that you might be having building up right around that tailbone area and kind of release some of the tension and the pressure while you're still digging and looking for where the actual cause of that pain started from. So remember, pain is a symptom. And we can do everything to put Band-Aids on top of it, to try to relieve the pain, and that helps in the beginning. But if we don't address the underlying cause of why it's happening, it's going to continue to come back. So this is just a simple tool to be able to dive into that symptom at first and get that symptom relief so that you can start and continue diving into what the cause is within that low back area. Okay, so again, reason why I like this roller, we're going to be using these edges right here that are going to add a little bit more almost like acupressure into that sacroiliac joint so that it can help to relieve some of the tension from all those rotator muscles that come in right along the tailbone area, okay? And it's also going to help to just release the pressure, release the tension, and start to get a little bit more movement and pain relief back. Now notice, if you notice an increase of tension or pressure, you want to definitely back off. So listen to your body. Everybody is different. There's no one plan for any person. This is just helping for most people in the beginning of that SI pain. Okay, so we're going to take the foam roller and I'm going to sit on it. So here, I'm just going to start to get a feel for what it feels like to get into those rotator muscles right along my tailbone area. So I'm going to start toward the base of my tailbone and then work my way up toward the tailbone. Now you might notice some areas of tension and just trying to come into those and then come back out. So just nice and gentle, still supporting yourself, still seeing what it feels like just to start to get into those muscles just a little bit right around that tailbone, adding some pressure. It's totally okay to start adding that pressure and tension. Okay, we can even start to come off toward one side, roll in toward the glutes just a little bit more. You're gonna go right along that edge of the foam roller. You're gonna feel that, and that's gonna feel a little crazy. But just breathing, maybe you hold it in different areas and really coming back to the breath. So we always want to make sure that when we're rolling, when we're doing any kind of mobility, that you're always coming back in toward the breath. So we don't want to hold onto tension. We don't want to be holding the breath. Very, very important. Start to come into and breathing in from the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Nice and gentle, nice and slow. And just allowing that body to relax and release. Okay. After a little bit of that, you're going to lay all the way back now. So now I'm going to take this just a little bit lower onto my tailbone area. So I'm going to bring both legs up, kind of hold the edge of this foam roller, and I'm just going to let my knees just gently come down, letting my pelvis bone come forward and back. So just gently forward and back. Then I can come side to side. Again, it's going to increase that tension and that pressure right along the tailbone. So if it's too much, you don't have to. You can even start with your feet on the floor and just see what that feels like to kind of maybe move it in different areas right along that tailbone. Okay, so just starting to kind of feel what you're feeling right into that low back tailbone area. Relieve some of that pressure, relieve some of that tension. Okay, then we're going to have it quite low here. Extend one leg and bring the other leg in. Might have to adjust it just a little bit, so right on that tailbone area, and we're going to pull one leg in. You might notice that the other leg starts to pop off. That's okay. If you're a little bit tighter in your hip flexors, this is a good stretch for the hip flexors. So we're going to start to breathe. And I want you to do 10 slow breaths on each side. So really feeling what it feels like to keep one leg in, extend the other leg out, and try to see if you can just relax it toward the ground. Maybe it doesn't touch the ground, that's okay. Maybe you want to keep it a little straighter in tension. Maybe you want to let the leg bend. Either way, I want you to see what your body needs. Kind of start to reach that foot out in front of you. Get some length there in that hip flexor and just breathing. So about 10 breaths on each side. And then we can come back up. And we're all done with some of that SI work. See how you feel. Stand up, walk around. If it is too much pressure, again, back off. You don't have to do it as long as me. And it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of pressure to start to relieve the tension right around that tailbone area. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to like and comment below to let me know what you think, and subscribe so you don't miss any in the future.